Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the second part in the Wicker Man week, which I'm looking from in the new sort of box set. Tonight I'm looking at the theatrical cut. It won't be a long video because I've already done sort of like the bit of synopsis really in the final cut. So we're going to look at this one tonight. So this won't be a long video, but I just want to go through a few things a little bit different. Yeah, there are some clips that are a little bit that are missing, obviously, from this that are in the final cut. But it's still an amazing version, and I still really go when I go to watch the Wicker Man. It's the theatrical cut is what I tend to watch first, to be honest, because it was the way it was presented when it came out, and I like that, how people saw it. And this one, because it is not being really messed around with, it is the best looking one out of the three that have transferred really well to 4K. It's a lot sharper. The picture looks a lot more sort of like vibrant. It's got some good textures and good sort of grain in there. Not as grainy as the final cut. And it runs smooth all the way through the picture, whereas in the final cut there was a few clips, the ones that are added, look slightly different to the rest of the film. Only if you're very careful you can sort of see it. The story is the same. It's the same story. The bits that weren't in it doesn't really take away from the film. It's still amazing, and the story is exactly the sort of same. Nothing's taken away from it. So it begs the question: did it really need to be have other cuts of the film? We'll have a look at the director's cut, and we'll see from that if that was any different. But when I look at this one, I think, you know, this one's perfectly good as it is. Yeah, it's a little bit shorter, but not a lot. It's got the same songs, the same soundtrack. The same story. It looks amazing in 4K. Looks really, really cool. Great transfer. Yes, it still looks aged and looks dated, but it still looks really, really cool. Absolutely love it. And it's still an amazing film. The pluses of this one, like I told you, the transfer is probably the best of the three. But saying that, I've not looked at the director's cut yet, but what I've heard, this is the better visual one, and I can say that it does look better than the final cut. It's a great cast, as you well know. We've got Edward Woodward, we've got Christopher Lee, we've got Britt Ekland. It's a great cast. It's got great soundtrack. Some songs performed by a band called Magnet, which is really good. It's still there's nothing taken out of the film that's like important to the film, because the final cut bits that are added didn't really make any difference to the story. So this is why I'm different. Did it really need that? Now, if it needed a director's cut, we'll find that out when I watch that one next. But this is a short video. Like I said, I'm going to score the film a 10 out of 10, just like the other one, because the film is still fantastic and amazing. It's just absolutely brilliant. Wicker Man theatrical cut, 10 out of 10. Any of you guys seen that version? If you have, let me know down below what you thought of it. Like I said, it's not going to be a long video, this one, because I've already done the main sort of video already. I just wanted to give you another sort of like tell you if there's any major differences in the versions. Obviously there's no major difference in the sense of like added footage in the final cut to this. There isn't any really major differences. The major difference is the picture quality and the sound quality is better in the theatrical cut than it is to the final cut. But that's to be expected, because that was the published version of the film, and so that will always would have had a really great sort of print of it already, easy to remaster, whereas the final cut and that had bits that were lost and added into the film, and so I'm guessing that that's why it could be the quality is a little bit less in that one, but it doesn't take away from either of them. Still both 10 out of 10. So the next one we're going to be looking at on the last day of the Wicker Man week will be the director's cut, and we'll have a little look at that one. Until then, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I'll see you all soon.